August. I believe today is August 30th. You might be watching this on August 31st. It does go to 31, doesn't it?
It does.
You know why I don't know? Because I only care about the 29th. It's my birthday yesterday. So I celebrated by tweeting out the final sentences of books. So I was just filled with a sense of mortality and finality that I decided I was going to share it with the world.
And I felt bad.
Yeah.
And I literally called Adam yesterday and I said, is this a suicide note in 140 characters? Literally, I was like, do I need to call the cops? Is this it?
I was laughing because I don't memorize the last lines of everything, but I was like, oh, I wonder what the last line of King Lear is. And it was just too perfect. Mm-hmm. It's like all about getting old and the young won't live like you. And he was probably saying, those damn bitches stabbed me in the back. Stupid progeny.
So this is the Twitter equivalent of giving away all your CDs and calling your parents one last time.
Yeah, exactly.
Adam's Perfect is another man's really depressing. So depressing.
Blair Herder.
Yay.
Mike Alonso.
Hello.
Leah Jackson.
Hello.
All three of you, people who actually enjoy football.
I do.
And have teams that actually play well at it.
No.
This is correct. Well, except for her.
Oh.
Who's your team?
The Redskins.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you and I can talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Well...
No, have that conversation. I want to see you talk about football right now.
Hey, I used to
We'll
love...
get to it. Don't worry. Don't rush.
I grew up in San Francisco.
I'd also like to see a conversation based on the value judgment of the 49ers versus the Redskins
Right.
in 2011.
Well, guess what? The fans of that team, they behave themselves better. So
True.
But before we get to that, summer drought over.
Yes.
Some of us are still
Yay.
playing Deus Ex. Some of us are just waiting a moment so they can just start playing like their Resistance next week. I think every year when we have the drought, it's like, oh, I should have planned for this. Mm-hmm. And no, we didn't, and there's just nothing to do. I mean, do you think, Blair, that you can make a concerted effort to hold on to a game or plan for a second playthrough to see what you didn't see the first time around during the summer?
Absolutely not. No, I mean, my biggest challenge this summer was trying to justify spending money on a new gaming PC so I could play PC games that I hadn't played that year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's literally where I'm at with this now, because you can't, because like February, there's always like one really good game in January, and then March and April, there's some good stuff. But February is also one of those months where it's like, oh man, I don't really have anything to do right now. And, as far as our schedules are concerned, like work is really starting to ramp up for the year, so we're not super busy. So that's usually when I can play all the games that I'm trying to hold out for the summer. I end up playing then, and then the summer just ends up, with me drinking and eating a lot of hot dogs for some reason.
Well, and then us finding ourselves at conventions.
And we do a lot of conventions this summer, yes.
But you, Delonzo, you're home.
I am.
What happens during your gaming summer drought? Gaming drought.
I kind of, going into this year, knew that it was going to be sort of a quiet summer, and that, we were going to be up until November pretty much quiet. So I sort of spaced out my gaming experience over the course of the whole year.
Responsible planning.
But I also play Madden, right? So for me, the drought ends early.
Right.
So I get it
a little bit later this year than
a little bit, yeah. But usually
past.
it's the beginning of August. I get Madden, so there's a couple weeks there, and then there's usually also Tiger Woods at the beginning of the summer. So sports games are a good way to kind of get through that drought if you can play them, if you're into it.
Leah's like, not me.
Leah has a whole other solution. She's got the games that never end.
Yep. That's right. Exactly. So for me, I mean, I just play like one game or two games for the entire year, and then when I start to kind of start playing them less, then I can catch up on all the games that came out earlier in the year. And so I never have that summer drought like everyone else does.
So what MMO are you playing right now?
Well, I was playing WoW, and then I just started playing lots and lots of StarCraft and following StarCraft. So it's not even an MMO anymore. It's
Look
just
at you.
Yeah, it's just.
You're so cosmopolitan.
It's true.
Wow.
So,
Future cosmopolitan, technically.
Future cosmopolitan. Yes. I mean, good. I'm probably going to just go through the summer again next year going, what do I do? What do I do? Ooh, look, I'm going to put a chicken in my pants. I'm having fun. Ooh, yeah.
Well, that's
I don't
also
think you'd
hours
have
of
fun
fun.
if you did that.
Might I recommend reading more really depressing books?
Just the
You were
final
so good at
lines.
it last year.
Just the final
the
lines.
end.
Just the end. Let's talk a little bit about news. Right now, I believe going on in Vegas is the GameStop Managers Conference. Maybe they're talking about something that happened last week that I guess on the surface shocked people, but really seems to be like the non-story of stories.
Okay, so what happened was when Deus Ex Human Revolution came out for PC, Square Enix, without telling GameStop, put in a $50 on-live coupon, and GameStop was like, what? And when they found out, and then they sent out a company-wide email saying, take all of these coupons out of the new games. So they opened the new games and took the coupons out. And the internet got very, very angry and grabbed their pitchforks when this happened. And GameStop basically said, we don't make a habit of promoting competitive services, meaning GameStop has their Spawn Labs and Impulse streaming service, which is basically what OnLive does. And they're like, well, we're not going to promote OnLive without you telling us
Well, at the very least,
that you did that.
Here's the part, though, that's a little bit confusing. I think it's making more sense now. OnLive is a service it's cloud gaming, where you're going to use your laptop or computer for its monitor. There's no processing for the game that's going to be happening underneath the hood. All that burden's being put on OnLive, who are doing it from a server. In essence, then, you don't need to be going into GameStop to get the game. That's why I got really confused about all of this. And who's like, I'm going to get my OnLive copy of the not needing to have the disc in my hand version of Human Revolution. So I'm trying to figure out how many people did this actually impact?
It's like, has anybody bought vinyl records lately? They make records out of plastic. Yeah. This is how you used to listen to music.
They used to come on circles.
Right.
Oh,
and they were
okay.
larger
Gotcha,
circles than
gotcha.
compact discs. They were less compact. They were extruded. But now with vinyl, they give you the download code, which to me always is like, well, why would I go buy the record?
Is it for the decorative properties?
I mean, the
of
kind of
vinyl
person that
record?
goes to buy a vinyl copy of this is not going to go home and then pop that open and download the album.
There's no Jethro Tull art on the
No,
front of
there's
the
no.
DSX.
Yes, whereas you can't open you can't open that and roll joints in the middle of it.
Yeah.
So.
my thing I've noticed is because I found this highly amusing is that a lot of the outcry was. It's it breaches our constitutional right to have an open an untouched product. And number one, there's no constitutional thing that defends that particular right.
Yeah,
and number two,
the Amendment doesn't
The untouched product amendment.
no, it does not. And number two, they said you've tampered with my product. They didn't take the game disc out and rub AIDS on it. They didn't touch the product. They opened the packaging and removed some shit that they didn't want to promote.
Yeah.
That's not tampering with the product at all.
No.
Which, by the way, I think the key. This is sort of a trap for GameStop, right? Because OnLive didn't tell anybody that they were going to do this.
Yeah.
Except for Square.
Except for Square, and Square was like, "Yeah, we don't care. Put it in the thing.
Yeah.
We'll put also some gum and a Topps trading card. We don't
just
shit,
put Dash
right?
X2 on it. 'Cause we do that too.
So it's made to make GameStop look like the heavy here, but
When it's
they're
not.
not.
I know.
Yeah,
Look,
exactly.
Look, guys, once again, I think we have to have this talk to the internet about every other month. Games are a business. There is a profit motive that is behind this form of entertainment. And, if obvious things like this are suddenly blocking one's ability to actually make money, it is well within their right, well within their reason. If I was a shareholder in GameStop and I found out that they were allowing themselves to promote a competitor, I'd be like, what are you doing? They get sued. I mean, it's just...
And you talk about it at the managers convention
Exactly.
in Vegas, which
And
Smash Mouth must be taking the stage right about now.
Oh wow!
Right? I mean, who else would entertain at the GameStop managers convention?
I think Smash Mouth and the Offspring should have a sing-off at the GameStop.
At Rock
managers
Band.
convention.
They change all their lyrics.
And
to make
But
the
in
GameStop
negotiating,
relevant.
they
I want them to
lowballed
do-
each
I
other.
want
It was
them to
like
do covers of 2 Blink-182 songs.
Oh man!
I love me
Awesome.
some Blink-182.
But you know what? But they should just move the entire event to Irvine because that's where all that frickin' music came out of in the first place.
Well, but in the end, GameStop still, to make amends, they are offering gamers a $50 gift card and a buy 2 get 1 free used game coupon for the people who pre-ordered the game in the first place.
That's pretty good.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
that's a
good,
great
but
deal.
And unnecessarily
Yeah,
nice. Really,
exactly.
they should not have to. And I love that OnLive's like, I'm not going to say anything about this. We're going to let you look like a we won't say a word. OnLive should be like, sorry about the miscommunication, you guys. If you wanted this, we could offer something here. But the GameStop is definitely like they've done a lot of things with used games in the recent years that have been kind of.
Those isn't clean in a lot of instances. Just not here, I think.
But that's incredibly generous, I think, and unnecessary.
All right, putting it behind us. Moving on, back to the rational world. PAX. We went to PAX. Well, Mike didn't go to PAX.
Go to PAX.
Leo was at PAX. I
I
saw
was
her.
at
She
PAX.
waved at me once,
Did?
and I was like, "Hi, I'm tired."
Hi, Lou.
Blair was like at my hip for most of it.
Yeah.
But it was a good time. PAX is always nice. Why? I want to hear theories. What is it about PAX? And to be fair, PAX West, both PAX is very nice. PAX West is like, It's like the old Mother Hubbard of game conventions.
It's in a giant
Hold
shoe.
on, wait, that's about a starving woman, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, the dog's a bone.
Put the last
there's
line
none.
of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get
That's
that.
the
It's
next
not the old
tweet.
Mother Hubbard. It's the nice old lady that kind of smells like huckleberries.
I don't know what you were smelling at PAX. It was not huckleberries.
I mean, but what do you think? I mean, people that are really chill and cool.
I mean, outside of the fans being the coolest fans ever, I think, at a convention, we've talked about this so many times, it's because the entertainment industry as a whole has not tainted it with all of its bull. It's still a video game convention. And it's not an independent, to clarify, it's not the Penny Arcade Expo. It's not an independent games convention anymore. There are a lot of AAA titles there. As a matter of fact, the majority of the titles there are AAA titles from large companies. But there are no celebrities making you wait in line outside of a Dunkin' Donuts to meet them in their cool nerd celebrity panel of people that played actors on television and maybe dated a chick this one time that made a music video that had a couple nerdy references in it. That does not happen at PAX, and that is why PAX is awesome.
Wow.
What could he be talking
Okay.
about?
I have no idea.
Leah, why do you think people at PAX are nice?
Sorry about that, you guys.
Oh, no.
I should
Oh,
talk
no.
to somebody about that.
No, I had
Thank
a
you, Michael.
vicarious moment with you there, buddy.
No, I just think it's, I mean, basically what he said, but not as scary. Yeah, it's just about the gamers, and they're there to play games and see games, and they're not there for anything else other than that. And it's very civilized there, and I think that just overall makes it a fun, nice convention where everyone wants to play together.
I mean, I do have one theory. Most of the attendees are from the Seattle area.
Yeah,
I think
there is
I
that.
think there's a role. I mean, there's just chill people up there. They're
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's kind of nice. Ooh, look, ocean breeze,
Yeah,
coffee.
it was nice.
Let's go be nice to people over at the gaming convention. That's how I see it playing out there. Maybe I'm wrong.
It also seems like, if you look at some of the other conventions, once the media gets involved, the core gamers get sort of super defensive. So there's this rift between the two entities, right? So those gamers at those conventions are like, no, we're going to play this and we're going to do this and this will happen. And you're like, will you just calm down a little bit? Everything's cool. Play your games. It's all fine, right? PAX doesn't seem to be like that. Like everybody there, because there's
People seem to be happy to stand in line there.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean,
It's like amusement parks where they have you have to wait 4 hours in line to play League of Legends, and everyone's just happy standing in
Yeah.
the line.
It's like a fish show.
in Soviet Russia, a game waits to play you.
It's the gaming equivalent of a fish show.
Yeah. Oh no.
It is. It really is.
Really?
In case you guys don't know who Fish is, you have to buy their music on those round things that Michael was talking about earlier.
And yeah, and endure. Are you a Fish fan?
I am.
Oh wow.
I am.
Wow, look at you.
Look at
I
me.
learned so much.
Yeah.
Eagles and a Fish fan.
Yeah, I know, right?
Quite something. We'll be getting to that momentarily. All right, let's talk about some news that happened at PAX. Halo, Combat Evolved, Anniversary Friends, Anniversary Edition. It's there. We actually went to the event. They had
It was fun.
Halo Fest,
Yeah.
which was nice. It was like a nice way to kind of attribute to Halo. My only thing about Halo Fest is, if not preceded by October, Fest does not upsell anything. It's not a very strong word.
It was it was more like a Halo museum than a
Yeah.
fest.
It was really cool.
It was really cool.
The best was the diorama of a warthog that really looked like you could have snuck it in the middle of the night to a natural history museum, and people would have taken a while to notice. It had all that kind of weird late 1960s, just kind of goofy. This is what a caveman did. And it was cool, and we got to see a lot of the maps, the way that they've changed. A lot of the classic Halo maps to make them a little bit more contemporary in their design, and then you can just hit a button, boom.
That
You're
was
back to the
really
old
cool.
map.
Yeah.
I mean, that was more impressive than them doing that in a single-player game, where I was kind of at a loss as to why we want to do it. I get it with the maps, because some of those, like, if you just close your eyes, you can still run around them.
Because that's how you remember them looking, but when you actually play the game from the first Xbox, they look so and then now with the upgraded graphics, they look amazing.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool when they would switch back and forth through each map.
Yeah, and seamlessly at that. Like,
Yeah.
literally, there's no load time. And I mean, the guy's like literally in the middle of a firefight, and he's like, let me show you what this would look like 10 years ago. And you're like, wow, it looks like crap, but it's amazing that you just did that.
I mean, it is as modest as it seems. I think that cannot be an easy stunt to pull off in terms of the coding, because
know.
those
I
are
know.
very, very different.
No.
But
It seems like it would indicate that both sets of code have to be running simultaneously always, right?
Yeah.
So you could just kind
and,
of.
well, I guess the one thing is, Halo Combat Evolved code is probably like that.
Right.
Having it run simultaneously is probably not costing a
Right.
processor much time. The other thing is, I have to hand it. I've always liked the Forza guys, but they have me going at this. They suddenly go up there and they start talking about all the Kinect stuff in Forza 4. And I'm like, what?
There's like this collective groan, and because
Yeah.
we did preview night,
It
it's
is
only media.
So straight.
people
And I'm like,
like,
only Microsoft would bring me in with the Halo
Uh-huh.
and make me see Kinect and a racing game at the same time.
Yeah.
And it goes on and on and on. And then suddenly you realize what the joke is. They've been trying to bore us because they found a way to integrate the Warthog into Forza 4.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It was really funny. You can't drive it, but you have to do something really hard in the game and you can unlock. I can't remember what that mode is called, where it's just kind of car porn.
Active enhancement, or it was something like that. And then you could just walk around the Warthog for the whole time and get in it and turn it on, and then you can't drive it around, which is. Yeah,
Yeah, but it would have been so slow. Like there would have made no point to have
Speed of the Warthog is 78 miles per hour.
Cool.
So.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know, but that mode was really cool though. That you could walk around it and pop the hood and go in
Yeah.
and see the engine and everything. That was neat, but I don't know. But
So you get to
Yeah.
play your uncle? Is that basically
Yeah.
you kick the
Yes.
tires? And
Yes.
What are you working
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
here? It's a V12.
You throw in some new floor mats, and I'll take this thing.
I think your belts are off. Timing chain sounds bad.
One of the most significant games there, Firefall. And by significant, I mean all over the place. Like all the banners had Firefall ads on it. It had one of the biggest booths. Here's this free
For the second year in a row, correct?
Yeah, well, no, we saw them at Boston PAX.
Okay.
But, I mean, I think because of the dimensions of the Washington State Convention Center, it just seemed that much bigger.
they had like an entire room, and then everyone else had the other two rooms.
I mean, the game looks pretty good. Definitely from an aesthetic perspective, it's not what you would expect when you hear free to play, especially for a shooter. But I guess with all the money in the booth and what looks like money in the game, where's this money coming from for a free to play shooter? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's starting to feel a little bit weird. Like, where is this game coming from?
Who's the developer?
Red 5 Studios.
I feel like their angel investors are Blizzard because clearly they've stolen the font size and the logo from StarCraft. So I think that Blizzard's going to make money off of this somehow, basically.
You might be, that makes the most sense I've heard so far.
Yeah.
What I heard was that this was pretty much all of their marketing budget was PAX, and that makes sense because all of PAX was Firefall.
Well,
But-
it's also, if you're going to free to play, you might as well go right to the consumer.
Yeah.
Don't, skip the media.
Right.
Right.
You don't need us in this one. So.
Not to mention, the demo that they were showing off was really cool.
Yeah,
it was
really
like the
is.
open world PvP, and they showed off the new engineer battle frame. I mean, it was a good demo for anyone that played it, but it was incredible how much presence that they had there.
It was something else. Now, another game, you might as well just tell us all about it. The Guild Wars 2. Is this thing really the second coming?
Yes.
I mean, I'm beginning to buy into this now.
I mean, it is the most amazing MMO I have ever seen. And
Shut your mouth.
I stand.
Just talking about Guild Wars.
I stand behind it. Now, I didn't play Guild Wars 1. I didn't really like it. I didn't, get into it at all. But Guild Wars 2.
might be Guild Wars doesn't sound as exciting as it should.
No.
I think of a bunch of cobblers facing off against milliners. Okay, it's like it just doesn't sound that sexy.
Yeah, exactly.
I would
but
play
it-
that today.
Cobblers versus milliners.
Cobblers versus milliners. We are making that game.
We're gonna make that.
Daniel
right?
Day-Lewis
that'll
could
be in
voice
Fable
every
4.
character in the game.
It was a great war between shoes and hats.
Back to you, Leah. Sorry.
No. But I just think it's really cool what they were showing off at PAX with some of the character creation and some of the new mechanics that they put in the game since they last showed it off at PAX, and the PvP. And the PvP is the same as, every other MMO PvP, but they have new elements that they're adding, and they're innovating in just ways that other games don't. And they're actually making it an action RPG rather than just, I swing my sword, and then I do 10 damage, and then I swing my sword again. Like,
How
you
are they
actually run
doing that?
around. Well, they have this new dodge mechanic where you can dodge things, and
I would hope so.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, you can.
You could buy Chrysler. That's
Right.
what I was
Right.
gonna say.
Car shows up.
Well, it's like you actually have to be, in range of something to hit it, and you can dodge away from them and get out of it. And if you dodge, it makes you immune to taking any damage, which adds a lot to PvP strategy, and which adds a lot to PvP strategy or PvE strategy also. So that was something new that they showed off, and it was really cool. And I liked it a lot. I love the art style. I love just everything I've seen about this game so far, I really like it, and I haven't been able to say that about a game in a really, really, really long time.
Your enthusiasm for it, like I'm gonna go dip the toe.
Yeah.
Maybe 1, maybe 2. But they will be dipped into the Guild Wars 2.
And it's cool because once you buy it, there's no monthly fee like there is for the other MMOs that are out either. Even the new MMOs that are coming out are still following the $15 a month, price scheme. Whereas Guild Wars, you just buy it and you can just play it forever for free.
But what wasn't the first thing that once you hit level 30, you had to start paying? Or am I wrong?
I don't know for Guild Wars.
That's what I thought was the original. Is that like you get to level 30 on their dime, and then
The
it's
longest
like, okay.
demo ever.
But but even so, this one, that's not the case.
All right. Oh,
So
Wow.
and how do they make money?
they're going to have microtransactions.
Okay.
So
That's
same
the
with
right
Firefall
model.
is going to have microtransactions. But
Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Did you get to see it, Leah?
I did. I played it.
What'd you think?
I, as a Counter-Strike 1.6 fan, thought it was incredible. It doesn't do anything new for shooters. It's just as a nostalgic Counter-Strike fan, I was like, oh my god, this is so cool.
So are all the anxieties in the community out there, are they justified? Are they completely baseless?
I played it on Xbox, and I've only ever played Counter-Strike on a PC, so I don't know. I can't say how it plays on a PC because I didn't play it on that. But I thought that it was really cool, and the graphics looked amazing. And I think it's going to be a fun game. I don't know how competitive people are going to be able to play. I don't know how competitively viable Counter-Strike Go is going to be. But it's fun for a downloadable title. And I was talking to Abby Heppy about it, and she said that this is probably Valve's way to test their feed and see, do people really want to play Counter-Strike again?
It's a good question. I'm very interested to find out. I mean,
That's why they're going on the global offensive, because they want to find out.
But they're countering with
Yeah.
And striking.
I don't know what to do.
Blair, what were your top 3 indie games at the PAX 10?
Well, Adam, I found this dive bar that had some microbrews. That was my number 1 favorite indie game.
Did you play Golden Tee? Was that your favorite?
Yeah, it's cool. It's got this cool mechanic with a rolly ball and it's golf. Number 1 favorite was Antichamber. Here's why. Because the gentleman that designed it, and apparently who's marketing it, his name's Alexander Bruce. He wore an all-pink suit and pink shoes. And throughout the course of his description of the game, he confused himself as to what his game was.
Oh my god, that's
It's
great.
it's like an it's so hard to explain, man, but it's like Escher meets, it's like an Escher painting meets Bastion, and then there's like a little bit of somebody did some heroin and like threw some paint on a wall. Like he had no idea how to describe his own game. But this is the 13th independent games convention or a competition, because he was in the PAX 10 that he was involved in. He won the other 12. So whatever the hell he's doing with this Antichamber game, it's amazing. But the other 9 people in the PAX 10, I asked them about Antichamber, and every single one of them was like, I don't know what the this game is, but it's awesome, and I wish I would have done that with my game. So if it ever does come out, it's on PC. If it ever does come out, who knows?
But describe it as a non-Euclidean design. And I'm like, the only other time I see non-Euclidean is in an H.P. Lovecraft story.
Right.
Okay, when you're suddenly confronted with Azathoth.
It's like the
angles that could never existed before.
It seems like the gaming version of reading Gödel, Escher, Bach, right?
Okay, what's your next one?
Adam Zombie Smasher.
I like that name.
Number 2, because one guy made the entire game, and he had this adorable little story where, and we happen to be in, that's why Mike brought this, is a Skyrim hat, right? And Skyrim, the Elder Scrolls people, they brought like 15,000 of those, right? And they were just handing them away like candy. And this guy brought 100 Adam Zombie Smasher buttons. And I was like, oh, can I take one of these? He's like, yeah, I had to pay for those, and so I'm kind of only giving those out to like certain people. So it's just like it's the exact. And apparently, I was not one of those people. But just the idea that this dude like used probably his entire life savings to put together his game, and which was showcased right across the hall from something like Skyrim. That's really just funny. Made it really cool. But it also is pretty neat. You're basically looking down at this almost like a circuit board, and it's like you're this this kind of air commander. And you're having to defend this city, kind of a tower defense thing, but you're calling in all these things, and you can see the zombies, like from a top-down perspective, running around, like the Grand Theft Auto 2, was it? What was 3 is when they went?
Yeah.
There's that. And then Word Fighter was my number 3, because this is how the guy described it. It's like Words with Friends meets Street Fighter, but he said it's have you ever wanted to play as Edgar Allan Poe and fight against Agatha Christie and kick her through the chest with words? And I was like, no, but I'll want to now.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's basically Super Puzzle Fighter, but with Words with Friends, but all the characters are authors, and there's some things, and it's just cool that he described it like that, right? Because
you describe it as
right
Feel
now.
Every Yummy.
yeah, and the name of his game is the name of his company is Feel Every Yummy. And if you've ever had a yummy, it feels good. And you want to feel everyone out there. And that's what it is. So, I don't know. And it's also what I liked about all three of
One
these.
day, some of these companies are going to become really successful. They're going to have to live with that decision.
Right. Yeah, right. But the best thing I think about the three of these is that none of these people wanted their games to be on XBLA or the PSN. These are all PC or mobile OS games, which I thought was pretty cool that they're, at this point, if you're putting all of your money into the development of a game, you want to get on Xbox. I mean, the goal is to get on something like Xbox Live or PSN, and these people are like, no, we're all good.
I think the goal for them is to get on Steam, not XBLA or PSN.
You're going to start seeing viral gaming in the way that you see viral video, and you won't need things like XBLA or Steam. Though, I have a friend who works for a company in San Francisco called Game Salad that allows you to make HTML5 games on the fly, like WYSIWYG, for devices and stuff like that. And they just put out a game last week that it's a Pakistani political game, and within 3 days, they had
Steve liked this game.
250,000 players.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't it called
All in Pakistan that are finally being able to voice the way that they feel about it.
Yeah,
shit going on in their lives.
Like, hey, pick your bodyguard.
Exactly. Yeah.
Carefully.
So I mean, I think some of these things are going to end up being
Right.
something like that.
Makes sense.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, no. It's I like it. No, but Blair, the PAX 10, a lot of the indie games are up on the 6th floor in a room. In years past, they've been kind of assorted amongst all the other kind of AAA titles from the big publishers. Do you find that to be a good thing or a bad thing?
Well,
Did
we
it help or hurt?
We've been going there pretty much since they really started focusing on the PAX 10. I think it's a great thing. I mean, you had the opportunity to go up there. Those particular games are enough of a showcase that they can have their own floor. And so the goal, I think, for all the other games out there is actually to be on the floor where the PAX 10 is, as opposed to trying to have your booth next to Skyrim and Rage and whatever. But I think it's great. And I also think it's great for the fans to, people love Mike and Jerry and really respect their opinions. And Mike, this is basically Mike and Jerry saying these are our favorite things, and they're all in one place.
People, as a result, will make the trek up to the 6th
Absolutely.
floor to be able to
and
check
because
it out.
of that, I think they're allowed. They put other games around there that maybe people necessarily wouldn't be interested in, and those people are benefiting from the presence of the PAX 10 as well.
I think that convention center is so confusing that it makes it really hard to go up to find the PAX 10 because there are elevators all over the place that don't go to the 6th floor. There's like one escalator to get up there, and Nicole and I didn't even find it until the last day of the show.
It is one of the more confusing places I've ever been to. I mean, it's not.
So
most convention centers are one large room.
And I love that they're on their own floor and that they're we're all equal here rather than being against the Skyrims and stuff. But I wish that it was a lot more accessible for everyone to find because it was hard for me to get up there because I had to catch a plane by the time I finally found it.
Right. You weren't looking that hard. It wasn't that difficult.
I don't know. It was really confusing.
But that just speaks volumes as to how big this convention's got. Like, it's not like they were on the 6th floor and everything else was on floors 1 through 3. There were on every single floor. They just happened to be the ones on the 6th floor. But I think if it was on the 3rd floor, you'd get the same amount of people. Like, I was there the first day that it opened, and we did the very first thing we shot was the PAX 10, and there were a ton of people up there. So I think you make it a point to see those games, and that's why it's okay to even. We had the X-Play panel off-site, and a ton of people showed up because I think you make it a point to make that be a part of what you're doing, and then you go ahead and find it.
All right, PAX. Thank you for being PAX.
Thank you for being PAX.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stay strong.
Close the doors so war can rage again. Football season. Okay, one thing which I'm really happy about is it's been a while because I want to kill the producer who does that, who puts into a script about Madden, are you ready for some football? And they expect me to sound like that guy, which is like, I don't have it in me.
You can do it.
No.
We believe in you.
I don't. I don't believe in me. I'm never going to do that. So I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to go to you. What is Madden like, and do we want to play it?
Madden this year is really interesting because
That doesn't sound good.
It's not.
Still not sounding interesting, Mike.
All right, listen, here's the deal. Madden is ultra dependable every year. It's a game that's sort of like riveted into its spot. It's almost always, as a reviewer, going to get a 4 because it's better than average, but it's not perfect, right? However, this year, I think they were stymied by the fact that they didn't know whether there was going to be football until 2 weeks before they had to go gold, right? So a lot of the things that they would have put in the game, they had to sort of cram in at the last second. And so the rosters are strange. Some of the collective bargaining agreement rules that were made in the offseason aren't represented correctly in the game, which is okay. But if you call yourself the preeminent football simulation game on the planet, right, you have to be accurate. So you can't say, well, we added a 75-man roster in the offseason for you, when the reality is that this year there's a 90-man roster in the offseason. It's a nitpicky thing, but that's not football. That's Madden. That's a whole different... They've just transmogrified. They went to all this trouble to add, like, free agent bidding, which is something that happened for real and made this particular very short offseason in real life very exciting. It's exciting in the game in a similar way, but you also, in your franchise mode, renegotiating players, the numbers are completely off because they're not the same kind of contractual numbers that the league is now. And I know this sounds ridiculous, but if you're going to play what is essentially a very complex football RPG, you want it to be as realistic as possible.
Well, you want to be able to take what your real world knowledge is and be able to apply that to it. It's almost like you have to relearn the system rather than take the system.
Since they didn't add all of the new things from this season into the game, is there a reason to get the new game?
Well, no, there's really not. I mean, they did add some things that people have been dying for forever. Like, you can now do customized playbooks for your team, which you've been able to do in NCAA for years, but they've just resisted. Now they put it in. That's really good. You get to cut in the offseason when you do your preseason games. You actually have to cut your players, which is devastating. It's really sad, right? You're playing through these games with these players, and then you have to tell them, and then they plead for their career.
So there is like an emotional support mini game.
There really is.
Quickly using Connect to kind of wipe the tears from the cheeks.
Right, exactly. But the problem is that they made all of these excellent changes to the peripheral parts of the game, but the main game took a step backwards. Like the voice acting is weird. There's a lot of repetition in the commentary. Some of the animations
are crap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
It wasn't just me.
Is crap.
Literally, I mean, I played it yesterday, and I was like, "This is garbage."
Right.
Like, the kicking, everything about the kicking is just.
Yeah, they added that new...
No, I can't think of another way to put it.
It is. It really... They wanted to add a new angle, but it doesn't work, and you can go to the classic angle. Why you would go to the new angle ever is completely beyond me. I think they had a lot of time to mess aaround with stuff.
Because they didn't know
it was... Yeah, right. So they messed around with the wrong things, and then by the time it was like, okay, here's the main meat of the game, they were like, oh, let's do it really fast.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, to be fair... When did we find out we were really going to get a football season?
July 25th.
But it was like only a few days before that there was that sense of certainty. Prior to that, I remember that most of us were resigned to the fact there was no football.
Yeah.
And that must have been very complicated because I do not think Madden sells well in that instance. Is you need the existence of football and the excitement around it to help,
Do you
really
think
drive
that
sales of the game.
If there wasn't a season, that there would be more of a demand for Madden?
No, apparently it does not. I see where your thinking is on that. Also, a long time ago on G4, we tried that with the NHL, and we ran games through NHL. Was it 2K6?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
So I can tell you, it don't work.
Okay.
Well, I think I'm a huge football fan, and I'm not necessarily the biggest sports game fan in the world, but I will buy Madden every year just because it's Madden, right? And I think that the people at Madden, regardless of whether or not they had a football season, they have a responsibility to their fans that buy a slightly updated version of their game year in and year out to make an awesome game, regardless of whether or not they know the football season is coming. And I think. And I haven't played it. I played literally like 5 games, right? And it seems like they just said, well, let's just bring this to slightly above beta phase, and
Yeah.
and then we'll see what happens, and then they're like, oh, it's happening, okay, push to alpha, now we're gold, and it's like, no, but you skipped pretty much all of alpha.
Do you see things in the game that will be changed with patches over time?
The rosters, right? The rosters
Well,
have to
yeah,
change.
okay, so
like today,
but
right?
that's really strange, okay? Because you have to go and do that yourself. Now, as an
Really?
Eagles fan, as an Eagles fan, it is disconcerting considering all of the moves that my team made in the offseason, and all I wanted to do was play a game that had Asante Samuel, Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, and Nnamdi Asomugha in the corner, like in the secondary, and start my season with Quentin Michael and Joselio Hansen from last year, and have Kevin Cobb still be on my team and be like, where's my whole new team that I wanted? You have to go and do it. You have to go through their the season pass.
Mm-hmm.
You have to put do your code.
You have to register.
You have to register.
You
You have to go online, and then you have to apply a roster update, which takes like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
It's not automatic. Where it should be.
Yep.
Something that big should be automatic when you boot the game.
And I feel like,
And
obviously,
nothing has been said to this, I assume.
No.
That's really.
I mean, one would
that-
assume
that-
they'd
that
have a
is
pat.
strange.
They would have announced immediately, like you said, so disconcerting yesterday. Halfback toss to Reggie Bush, and I was like, Reggie doesn't get the ball anymore.
Right.
Not on my
He's in
team.
Miami.
Yes, he doesn't get that ball anymore. He left us. Okay. But I literally went online because I was like, there's got to be a patch day one, because obviously we had the advantage of playing this game like a week early, so we don't know what's going to happen, and games have the ability to patch themselves day one. But there's been no talk of patching, because I was like, oh, I'll just play on Tuesday. I'll plug it in. They'll say an update, and then all the rosters. But that's not the case. And
There may be eventually, but there isn't now.
It should happen today.
It should happen when you get the game.
Yeah.
Mike, has the NFL been quite hurt by the threat of well, there was a lockout, but then the threat that we might actually be getting a season? I mean, we're kind of saying, yes, this probably impacted the game, but has it done something to kind of dampen enthusiasm and expectation around this season?
No, they got really lucky because they signed that contract in one of the last possible days to not impact anything. The only thing that happened was they canceled the Hall of Fame game, which most people don't care all that much about anyway. It's like the ceremonial first game of the preseason.
Yeah.
They were really lucky in that, basketball's going on strike at the same time, so people were looking at a whole year with only baseball to carry us through.
He was just so
Right.
grateful.
Yeah, they were just like, there's a real sport coming.
Thank you.
Finally, NFL is in great shape. The NFL was, people immediately came back and were like, oh, thank God there's football.
I mean, it just sounds like there's like this experience is just kind of entrenched in irony about what it meant for the Madden game, because while the actual people playing the actual game can actually kind of get things going much faster than what you're doing when you're representing them in their simulacrums in this video
It's
game.
very true.
Yeah, it's true.
It's unfortunate, but
Yeah.
so what are you giving it?
A 3.
A 3.
Whoa.
All right, well,
When's the last time that this game got a 3?
I've been reviewing Madden for, I think, 5 years, and I've never given anything below a 4.
Wow.
It's just not good. I mean, it's not bad.
and we're not talking about the Wii versions, which I think is
No, that's a whole other thing.
Don't
It's-
even talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not. It's a step backwards. It just doesn't. It's not. It doesn't work. It feels empty.
Yeah.
You
I'm
know?
so glad
Fill
that
your void.
that
Well, you
you're
know what?
echoing my. I literally was like, maybe I'm just not playing it enough, but it's good to know that I was right. Like, I was like, this just doesn't feel like a good Madden game. Good.
But Alonzo,
Thank you, Michael.
Really, the upside is it's more time to design Cobblers versus Milliners.
I cannot wait.
All right, so that's what we're going to do. Well, thank you so much for taking on the review, sounding like you know everything there is to know about football, and having me quietly feel like I'm that 10-year-old on the schoolyard that doesn't know what his friends are talking about. But, Blair, thank you for coming by. Thank you for joining me at PAX.
Thank
Leah,
you.
thank you for joining me at PAX
You're
and
welcome.
going and doing all those important things.
Woohoo.
This is, of course, Feedback. It's the end of today's show, but this show will be back as the drought gives way to the moist ground of the
Of the
precipitation of games
Skyrims?
that's hitting us. Yeah,
Sting
we
could
got
not
it.
have said it better himself.
Yeah, exactly.
Well done.
exactly. We'll be lapping up at our water hole, trying to hang out with the other water buffaloes and not get eaten by a cheetah. Next time on Feedback, goes up on G4TV.com every Wednesday. We'll be there. I'll be the one on the left.
Hi, I'm Blair Butler, and if you like comics or you watch the Fresh Ink segment on Attack of the Show, guess what? I review brand new comics every single week on Friday. Just go to g4tv.com/freshink and you'll have comics galore, a virtual waterfall of comics, although that would bend them. and that would decrease their value, which is terrible.